My child, stop right now. Drop everything you are doing and listen to me, because heaven is interrupting your life in this very moment. This is not a gentle pause. This is not a suggestion. This is an urgent call that cannot wait, cannot be delayed, and cannot be ignored without consequence. I am speaking with authority and love, and I need your full attention, because what is unfolding right now is the most important step you have ever faced. This moment stands above all the others you have lived through, above all the decisions you have made, above all the prayers you have prayed and wondered about. I am stopping you because time has narrowed, the window is open, and heaven is moving toward you with intention. Do not tell yourself you will listen later. Do not tell yourself this can wait. This is the moment that changes direction, and you must hear me now. My beloved, I am not interrupting you without reason. I am interrupting you because one unseen thing has been standing between you and success, between you and peace, between you and the breakthrough you have begged me for in quiet moments, between you and the fulfillment your soul has been aching for. You have worked hard. You have tried to do the right things. You have prayed. You have waited. You have endured. And still, something felt blocked, slowed, restrained, as if an invisible wall stood just ahead of you. You could sense that you were close, yet not fully there. You could feel movement, but not release. You could see progress, but not completion. My child, that was not your imagination. There has been something standing in the way, something subtle, something hidden, something that does not look dangerous on the surface but carries great weight in the spirit. And now, I am speaking because it is time for that thing to be exposed, confronted, and removed. Hear me carefully. What is about to happen will shock you. It will not shock you with fear, but with clarity. It will not destroy you, but it will disrupt the path you thought you were on. It will shift how you see yourself, how you see me, and how you see your future. It will change your direction completely, not because you were wrong to desire success, but because you were about to reach it without understanding the cost of carrying the wrong thing into the next season. I am stopping you before you step forward with weight you were never meant to carry. I am interrupting you before success arrives without peace. I am calling you now because what comes next will require lightness of heart, sharpness of hearing, and obedience without delay. This message is time-sensitive. It is not like the others. It is not one you can listen to halfway and return to later. It is not one you can dismiss and expect to receive the same opportunity again. I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. There are moments that repeat, and there are moments that pass. This is a passing moment with eternal weight. If you ignore this call, you will not lose my love, but you will lose alignment. You will not lose my presence, but you will delay clarity. You will not lose your destiny, but you will slow the unfolding of it. And I do not want that for you. I am calling you because I love you too much to let you drift past the very step that unlocks everything you have been praying for. My child, this moment was scheduled in heaven before you were born. Before your name was spoken by human lips, I wrote this interruption into your story. Before you took your first breath, I knew the day would come when you would need to be stopped, not pushed, not rushed, but stopped so you could hear me clearly. This is not random timing. This is not chance. This is not a coincidence tied to technology, people, or circumstance. This is a divine appointment, written into eternity, activated now because your heart is finally ready to hear what your spirit could not handle before. I waited for you. I watched you grow. I watched you struggle. I watched you learn. And now I am speaking because you are standing at the edge of something that can either lift you higher than you imagined or burden you more than you expect, depending on whether you listen. You have been asking me for success, for progress, for movement, for answers, for open doors. You have prayed for clarity and wondered why silence followed. You have asked me to change your situation and felt like nothing moved. But my child, silence was not absence. Silence was preparation. I was not withholding. I was aligning. I was not ignoring you. I was arranging this moment. Because the next step is not about effort. It is about surrender. It is not about speed. It is about obedience. It is not about talent. It is about trust. And if you miss this step, everything else will feel heavy, delayed, and incomplete, no matter how successful it looks on the outside. So I command you now, with love and authority, listen with your heart. Do not listen with curiosity. Do not listen with half attention. Do not listen while holding on to distractions. Listen with your heart fully open, because missing this will delay everything you have prayed for. Not because I am punishing you, but because alignment must come before acceleration. You have asked me to move you forward, but forward without alignment leads to collapse. You have asked me to bless you, but blessing without clarity leads to exhaustion. You have asked me to open doors, but doors without preparation lead to regret. That is why I am stopping you now. That is why I am speaking urgently. That is why heaven is interrupting your routine, your thoughts, your plans, and your expectations. You may feel your chest tighten as you hear these words. You may feel a pull inside you that says this is serious. That feeling is not fear. That feeling is recognition. Your spirit knows this is not an ordinary moment. Your soul knows something is being asked of you. You have reached the point where staying the same costs more than changing. You have reached the point where delay feels heavier than obedience. You have reached the point where success without peace no longer satisfies you. And I am here to guide you through the step that changes everything, but only if you listen now. Do not tell yourself you are not ready. Readiness is not the requirement. Willingness is. Do not tell yourself you need more information. Obedience comes before full understanding. Do not tell yourself you will come back to this later. Later is where momentum grows to die. This moment is alive, charged, appointed, and active. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are attentive. The spirit realm is responsive. And I am speaking directly to you because I see what is ahead, and I know what must be released before you can walk into it. Say amen. Favor surrounds me like a shield if you know He's preparing blessings. My child, this is the most important step you have ever faced, because it is the step that determines whether success becomes a burden or a blessing. It determines whether progress brings peace or pressure. It determines whether breakthrough feels empty or fulfilling. One unseen thing has been standing in the way, and I am about to reveal it, remove it, and replace it with clarity and freedom. But you must stay with me. You must listen fully. You must let go of the need to control how this unfolds. You must trust that I see what you cannot see. Drop everything. Not physically, but inwardly. Drop your assumptions. Drop your defenses. Drop your fear of change. Drop your attachment to what feels familiar. Drop your need to understand before obeying. because what is about to happen will blow your mind, not because it is loud, but because it is precise. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is true. Not because it is overwhelming, but because it finally makes sense. I am interrupting you because I am about to move you. I am stopping you because I am about to shift you. I am speaking urgently because delay will cost you clarity. Listen with your heart now. Stay with me. This is not the moment to look away. This is the moment everything begins to change. My child, I am speaking to you now because this moment is not like the others that have passed through your life. This is not one more day added to the many you have already lived. This is not another message among countless voices competing for your attention. This moment is urgent because something has shifted, something real and unseen, something that changes how time itself is moving around you. You can feel it if you are honest with yourself. There is a pressure in the air, a seriousness in your spirit, a sense that you are standing at a line you cannot cross casually. I am not calling you because you are curious. I am calling you because you are positioned. I am not speaking because you are bored. I am speaking because heaven has moved, and when heaven moves, delay becomes costly. There are moments in life where waiting is wisdom, but there are also moments where waiting becomes disobedience. This is one of those moments. The season you were in allowed room for hesitation, for learning, for mistakes, for slow growth. But that season is closing. Time has shifted spiritually, and the pace has changed. What once took months to decide now requires clarity in days. What once allowed excuses now demands action. What once tolerated delay now asks for response. I am not rushing you to confuse you. I am urging you because alignment is happening quickly, and you must move with it or feel the strain of resisting it. My child, I have been patient with you. I gave you space to heal, time to process, room to recover. I allowed you to sit in uncertainty without condemnation. I did not pressure you when you were weak. I did not push you when your heart was heavy. But understand this clearly. Patience is not permission to remain unmoved forever. Healing was meant to prepare you, not to become a hiding place. Reflection was meant to sharpen you, not to delay you. And now, the time for preparation is giving way to the time for decision. This is why the moment feels different. This is why your spirit feels alert. This is why old comforts no longer satisfy you. You are no longer in the season of getting ready. You are in the season of step forward. Delays are ending now, not because everything is suddenly easy, but because what was blocking movement hath been exposed. Some delays were necessary. Some waiting protected you. Some pauses saved you from damage you could not see. But not all delay is holy, and not all waiting honors me. There comes a point where delay turns into fear wearing the mask of wisdom. There comes a point where hesitation stops being caution and starts becoming resistance. I am speaking now because you are standing at that point. I am not angry with you. I am not disappointed in you. I am alerting you. I am waking you up to the reality that the time for indecision is closing. Heaven is watching your response, not with condemnation, but with attention. Not with judgment, but with expectancy. Your response in this moment carries weight because it reveals what you truly believe about me, about yourself, and about the future I have been preparing. This is not about perfection. It is about posture. It is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting me enough to move when I say move. Heaven does not measure your worth here. Heaven observes your willingness. Angels are not counting your failures. They are watching your obedience. The unseen realm is attentive right now because what you choose to do next affects not only you but what flows through you. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness and devotion to God into your life. If you wish, you can kindly show your support by donating through Super Thanks. You have prayed for momentum, for progress, for movement. You have asked me to take you forward, to break cycles, to open doors. A momentum may not come from comfort, it comes from obedience. And hesitation will cost momentum. I say this with love, not threat. Momentum is fragile in moments like this. When alignment is present and action follows, momentum builds quickly. But when alignment meets hesitation, momentum stalls. What could move smoothly begins to feel heavy. What could open easily begins to resist. What could flow begins to strain. I do not want that for you. That is why I am speaking clearly now. This is not the time to overthink what I have already confirmed in your spirit. Fear will try to speak loudly right now. It will tell you to slow down, to wait longer, to gather more proof, to protect yourself. But hear me clearly, my child. Fear is not from me. Fear does not come from heaven. Fear does not guide you into truth. Fear always disguises itself as concern, but it produces paralysis, not peace. When fear leads, confusion follows. When fear decides, regret eventually speaks. I do not lead my children through fear. I lead them through clarity, through peace, through conviction that is calm even when the step is bold. If what you feel is panic, that is not me. If what you feel is pressure mixed with peace, that is my voice calling you forward. You may be thinking, why now? Why does it have to be now? Because readiness has reached maturity. Because what you needed to learn, you have learned. Because what needed to be stripped away hath been stripped away. Because the version of you that would have mishandled what is coming has already been refined. I do not call prematurely. I do not push irresponsibly. When I say the moment is urgent, it is because all necessary preparation has been done. What remains is response. And response cannot be delayed without cost. This urgency does not mean chaos. It means clarity. It does not mean recklessness. It means decisiveness. It does not mean you rush blindly. It means you stop negotiating with what I have already made clear. There are things I have already spoken to your heart that you have been revisiting again and again, hoping they might change. They will not. There are steps I have already highlighted that you keep postponing, hoping timing will feel safer. It will not. Safety is found in obedience, not delay. Peace is found in alignment, not avoidance. Heaven is watching not because you are on trial, but because you are trusted. This moment has weight because I trust you with it. I would not place you here if you were not capable of responding. I would not call you forward if I had not already gone ahead of you. I would not urge you if I had not already prepared what comes next. The urgency you feel is not pressure to perform. It is the pull of destiny coming into focus. It is the sound of alignment closing in. It is the signal that waiting has done its work and movement is now required. Do not mistake urgency for danger. Do not confuse decisiveness with risk. I am not calling you into loss. I am calling you into flow. I am not calling you into fear. I am calling you into faith that moves. Faith that remains still forever is not faith. It is comfort disguised as trust. True faith responds. True faith steps. True faith moves when the window opens, and that window is open now. I know part of you wants reassurance that everything will be easy once you move. That is not the promise. The promise is that it will be right. There is a difference. Right paths still require courage. Right decisions still stretch you. Right seasons still demand growth. But they do not drain you the way misaligned paths do. They do not confuse you the way delayed obedience does. They do not fracture your peace the way fear-led choices do. What I am calling you into will strengthen you even as it challenges you. So hear me, my child. This moment is urgent because time has shifted. Delays are ending. Decisions are being weighed. Heaven is attentive. Momentum is available. Fear is loud but false. And obedience is the door. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to respond rightly now. Do not let hesitation steal what obedience can unlock. Do not let fear slow what alignment is ready to release. I am with you in this moment. I am not watching from a distance. I am guiding from within. Listen, trust, and move. This is not just another moment. This is the moment that decides how the next ones unfold. My child, come closer now, because I am about to speak the truth you have sensed but quietly avoided. I speak not to shame you, not to accuse you, not to diminish you, but to free you. I need you to hear me clearly, because the one thing standing in the way of what you have been praying for is not what you think it is. It is not your lack of talent. It is not your lack of effort. It is not your intelligence. It is not that you have failed to pray enough, believe enough, or try hard enough. I have seen your effort. I have seen your prayers. I have seen your discipline. I have seen your desire. I have seen your longing to move forward. And yet, something has remained just out of reach. That is because the barrier has not been outside of you. It has been within you, quietly shaping your pace, slowing your steps, softening your decisions, and dulling your momentum without you fully realizing it. The one thing standing in the way is not dramatic. It does not announce itself loudly. It does not look dangerous on the surface. In fact, it often feels reasonable, even wise. But beneath its calm appearance, it has held more power over your movement than any external obstacle ever could. That one thing is the hesitation rooted in fear, the self-doubt you entertain longer than you should, the obedience you delay while waiting to feel safer, and the things you hold on to even though you know, deep down, that I have already asked you to release them. This is not about a single action. It is about a posture of the heart that has quietly slowed your life. You have told yourself many stories to explain the delay. You said the timing was not right. You said you needed more clarity. You said you needed more confirmation. You said you needed to feel more confident. You said you needed things to settle first. And some of those reasons sounded wise. Some even sounded spiritual. But my child, I see beneath the language. I see beneath the explanations. I see the place where fear learned to speak softly instead of loudly, where doubt learned to sound thoughtful instead of destructive, where hesitation learned to call itself patience. And I tell you this gently but firmly, fear does not stop being fear just because it speaks politely. You are not lacking ability. I placed what you need inside you long ago. You are not lacking intelligence. I gave you wisdom and the ability to learn. You are not lacking prayer. You have cried out to me more than anyone knows. You are not lacking effort. You have tried again and again. But effort without obedience eventually becomes exhausting. Prayer without surrender eventually becomes frustrating. Desire without decision eventually becomes heavy. And this is where you have been living tired, not because you are weak, but because you have been carrying tension between what you know I am asking and what you are willing to do. The unseen barrier has been your fear of stepping fully into what you already sense is required. Fear of making the wrong move. Fear of losing control. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of failing publicly. Fear of success changing your life more than you are ready for. Fear of letting go of what feels familiar, even if it is no longer fruitful. You rarely call it fear. You call it caution. You call it being realistic. You call it waiting for the right moment. But my child, fear does not always tremble. Sometimes it negotiates. Sometimes it delays. Sometimes it convinces you to stay just comfortable enough to avoid movement. There has also been self-doubt quietly shaping your decisions. You doubt your readiness. You doubt your ability to sustain what I want to give you. You doubt whether you can handle what comes next. You doubt whether you are truly qualified. And instead of bringing those doubts to me and letting me answer them, you have allowed them to sit with you, to advise you, to slow you. You replay your weaknesses. You rehearse your past mistakes. You measure yourself against others. And each time you do, you take one small step back from the edge of obedience. Not dramatically, not rebelliously, just enough to stay where you are. Another part of this barrier is delayed obedience. You had heard me. Do not tell yourself you have not. There are things I have already made clear to you. Steps I have already highlighted. Directions I have already whispered to your heart. But you postponed them. You told yourself you would respond later, when you felt stronger, when circumstances improved, when fear lessened, when conditions felt safer. But obedience delayed is not neutral. It does not preserve clarity. It slowly erodes it. The longer obedience waits, the more noise fills the space. The more opinions enter. The more doubts grow. And soon, what was once clear begins to feel complicated. You also continue to hold on to things I have already touched and asked you to loosen your grip on. Relationships that drain you. Patterns that numb you. Mindsets that limit you. Roles that no longer fit who you are becoming. You justify holding on to them because they once helped you survive. And they did. I do not deny that. But survival tools become barriers when the season shifts. What once protected you can begin to confine you. What once comforted you can begin to slow you. And I am speaking now because you cannot carry what belongs to a past season into the future I am opening without feeling the weight of it. Type Amen. His word is my life if scripture is your daily bread. This one thing has not stopped your life. It has slowed it. That is why the frustration feels constant but not catastrophic. That is why you feel close but not complete. That is why progress feels real but limited. That is why you are tired even though you are capable. You have been moving forward while holding back at the same time. And the tension is what has worn you down. You were not created to live divided like this. You were not created to walk with one foot in obedience and one foot in hesitation. You were not created to hear my voice clearly and still negotiate with fear. I am not exposing this to hurt you. I am exposing it to release you. Because the moment this one thing is acknowledged honestly, its power weakens. Fear loses authority when it is named. Hesitation loses control when it is confronted. Doubt loses its grip when it is brought into the light. And delayed obedience loses its excuse when truth stands clearly before you. You do not need more talent. You do not need more effort. You do not need more preparation. You need alignment between what you know and what you do. I know you are afraid of what will happen if you let go. I know you are afraid of what will be required of you if you step fully forward. I know you are afraid of failing, of being seen, of being misunderstood, of being stretched beyond what feels comfortable. But hear me clearly now. I have never asked you to move alone. I have never asked you to be strong by yourself. I have never asked you to figure it all out. I have only asked you to trust me enough to respond when I call. The thing standing in the way is not outside you, because external obstacles never had the authority to stop what I designed for you. The thing standing in the way has been the internal pause that comes when fear speaks louder than faith. And that pause has cost you momentum. It has not destroyed your destiny, but it has delayed your joy. It has not erased your calling, but it has slowed your clarity. It has not removed my favor, but it has kept you from fully experiencing it. My child, I am speaking firmly now because you are ready to hear it without breaking. You are strong enough now to face what you once avoided. You are mature enough now to release what once felt necessary. You are grounded enough now to obey without needing every answer first. And I am close enough now to guide you through what happens next. This one thing does not need to control you anymore. You do not need to manage it. You do not need to negotiate with it. You need to release it. You will feel lighter when you do. Movement will return. Peace will increase. Direction will sharpen. Momentum will rebuild. Not because I suddenly became more present, but because you removed what was quietly resisting me. The slowing was never from me. Your assistance was never from heaven. It was the inner barrier that felt safe, but was no longer faithful. So hear me now, my beloved. This is not condemnation. This is liberation. I am not disappointed in you. I am inviting you. The one thing standing in the way is no longer hidden. And because it is no longer hidden, it no longer has the power to keep you where you are. My child, I know what lives inside your heart. I know the quiet desire you carry to succeed, to move forward, to build something meaningful, to finally feel that your life is unfolding instead of standing still. You may not say it out loud, but you feel it every day. You long for progress. You long to see fruit from the effort you have poured out. You long to wake up with purpose instead of pressure, with direction instead of confusion. And I want you to know this first, before anything else. Your desire for success is not wrong. I placed that desire inside you. I am not offended by your dreams. I am not distant from your goals. I am not disappointed that you want more than survival. I created you with vision in your spirit, with hunger in your heart, with a longing to grow, to achieve, to become. That desire did not come from the world alone. It came from me. But my child, I need to teach you what true success really is, because the world has spoken loudly, and its voice has confused many hearts. Success, as I define it, is not how busy you are. It is not how much you own. It is not how many people know your name. It is not how fast you rise or how impressive you look. True success is alignment. It is when your outer life matches the inner truth of who you are and who I created you to be. It is when your work does not drain your soul. It is when your progress does not cost you your peace. It is when your achievements do not pull you away from me, but draw you closer. Success is not reaching a place. It is walking in step with me wherever you are. You have seen people who look successful on the outside but are empty on the inside. You have felt that emptiness yourself at times, even when things seem to be going well. That is because success without alignment feels hollow. It looks bright but feels heavy. It looks powerful but leaves you tired. It looks impressive but does not satisfy your spirit. When you chase success without me, you may gain movement, but you lose rest. You may gain recognition, but you lose clarity. You may gain comfort, but you lose meaning. And I love you too much to let you build a life that looks full while your soul feels empty. I see your dreams, my child. I see the goals you have written down and the ones you are afraid to admit. I see the future you imagine when you let your guard down. I see the work you want to do, the stability you desire, the impact you hope to have, the freedom you long for. I am not standing in the way of those dreams. I am not slowing you because I want you small. I am guiding you because I want you whole. I want your success to bless you, not burden you. I want it to lift you, not trap you. I want it to last, not collapse under its own weight. I know you are frustrated. I know the slow progress has tested your patience. You have done what you knew to do. You have taken steps. You have tried to improve. You have waited when nothing seemed to move. You have watched others advance while you felt stuck. And in those moments, you wondered if you were falling behind, if you missed something, if you were doing something wrong. I hear that frustration. I am not offended by it. Frustration is often the cry of a heart that knows it was created for more. But frustration becomes dangerous when it pushes you to chase speed instead of alignment. You have been tempted to measure success by how fast things happen. But speed is not the same as progress. You have been tempted to measure success by comparison. But comparison always distorts truth. You have been tempted to believe that slow movement means failure. But slow growth often builds deeper roots. I have not been wasting your time. I have been strengthening your foundation. Because success without foundation collapses, and I will not let what I give you destroy you later. I want you to hear this clearly. I do not delay to punish you. I delay to protect you. I slow you down when speed would harm you. I pause you when momentum would carry you somewhere you are not ready to sustain. I refine you when rushing would magnify weaknesses you are still learning to surrender. You asked me for success, and I am answering you, but not in the way the world answers. I am answering you in a way that preserves your heart, your peace, your identity, and your future. You want to move forward, and that is good. But forward without alignment creates pressure instead of peace. Forward without clarity creates noise instead of direction. Forward without obedience creates activity instead of fruit. I want your life to bear fruit, not just movement. I want your success to feel right in your spirit, not just look right to others. That is why I have been dealing with your heart before accelerating your path. My child, I know the waiting has been hard. Comment Amen. He's flipping the script if you believe God is rewriting your story, and share this video.